Well, let's turn our attention now to the preparedness of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to the March 18th governorship and state assembly elections. While INEC has begun the movement of sensitive materials from the Lagos State branch of the Central Bank of Nigeria to the various local government areas and across the state ahead of the governorship and State House of Assembly elections on Saturday. Lagos State Resident Electoral Commissioner Mr. Segun Agbaje, in charge of the distribution exercise, assured of the Commission's readiness to do all it can in ensuring the transmission of election results with the beavers from polling units.
We have been assured that from Abuja, because that is from Abuja, it's not our own. We don't do it in Lagos here. It's a network, Germany, it's a national issue. So, but Abuja has assured. Yesterday, my chairman spoke with the NSA and other security heads in Abuja, and we have been assured that things will be better this time around. We deployed. It is when INEC fails to deploy that you can call it a problem. But if you deploy, but you are not allowed to get to where we are going, or they got there and they are not allowed to do their work, driven out of the place, that is not an INEC's problem. And that is why we are synergizing with security agents, because INEC has its own roles that has been carved out. But the other things outside the area to make sure do a job well, which is that of securing the environment. And I've told you that last Wednesday, the ISS met in the state to review what happened and to also look at the way going forward. And we have reviewed everything, and the security agencies have assured us, the military, the police, immigration, civil defense, all of them were there, and they all assured us that this time around, the situation will be better.
I believe in INEC due to the transparency and the way they conducted the last election, which was actually free, fair. To my own knowledge.
Well, let's also hear from some residents who have reacted to the Resident Electoral Commissioner of Lagos on how prepared INEC is.
I believe in INEC due to the transparency and the way they conducted the last election, which was actually free, fair. To my own knowledge, there have been a lot of credit from the election observers, and I see no reason why I should doubt their capacity.
Possibly they will be able to do it because of the issue they have as in Osun State. I think that one I taught them a lesson, and by doing this one will be transparent. That's what I think. You know, it will be more transparent if they can do that.
Well, we don't have to doubt because Nigerians are watching, you know. So I just pray that as he promised this time around, let him fulfill his promise, because we cannot afford to experience the same thing that happened in the presidential election to this governorship election.
Indeed, a lot of Nigerians expressing, especially Lagosians, expressing how they feel as regards the forthcoming election, and also praying and hoping that all of the skirmishes that happened at the last election, that's the presidential and National Assembly elections, do not repeat themselves. And to further this conversation with us in the studio is still Matthew Oluku, Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, we've heard from Nigerians, we've heard from the Lagos State Resident Electoral Commissioner saying that the security agents are on the alert. INEC has, moved sensitive materials to different local governments in the state. What are your expectations? We know that there were a lot of challenges, issues with the last election, but what are your expectations concerning these elections?
Just like you said, I did listen to him. Even as I admit that there are some security breach during the presidential election, but I think the major area is on the INEC itself, not the security breach. The major challenge Nigerians faced was INEC reneging on their own promise, not just promise, reneging to meet up with their own guideline. So I think that is the area INEC need to give Nigerians assurance that actually they are going to transmit the election result electronically for the purpose of this forthcoming governorship and House of Assembly election. Don't even forget that even in Lagos State, there is a court that have ruled that for the purpose of this election, in Lagos State particularly, that the election result must be transmitted electronically. So that goes to show you that, or that goes to tell you that the Electoral Act itself, in a way, tied the hand of INEC to transmit the election result electronically. Recall that I did say it here, that if you check that section 60, section 2, I think B of it, that it says that even as you collate result, the result you collate must be inconsistent with the transmitted result, meaning the the Electoral Act itself want the result transmitted electronically. Then you know there is a school of thought that feel that the alleged electoral brigandage that we experienced in the last presidential election lack clinical precision, and that they feel that it is part of the reason INEC postponed this election from to this 18th of this month. So I think INEC have a responsibility to prove them wrong, that actually the postponement was genuine, just as they told us that it was to enable them reconfigure the beavers. So they have a responsibility to prove those school of thought wrong, that they have no any sinister motive, that the essence of postponing it was genuine. Because for me, like I told you, I've been saying
but when you say, sorry to button, when you say genuine, how do you mean? What makes the postponement genuine? Looking at they had 4 years to prepare for this election.
I've said it here. I say there's a school of thought that feel that the alleged electoral brigandage we experienced in the last presidential election lack clinical precision, and that it may be a way to perfect their act of manipulation. I say they have a responsibility to prove those school of thought wrong by ensuring that they do the right thing. Because as we speak, INEC have a lot to do in terms of public perception. Because the way the public view INEC now, they don't see INEC as an independent body anymore. They see INEC as a body that has surrendered their independence to some political gladiators. So they have a responsibility to correct it. We were speaking here just now when I said I even read that a chieftain of All Progressive Congress was admonishing the US president to congratulate the president-elect. So all this has to do with public perception. And the only way you can correct it is to build confidence of Nigerians to accept the process. And the only way you can build their confidence is your action, not promise any longer. Because we have seen that they are not able to meet with their promise. And it's difficult to take them for their words, the way it stands today.
But even all of the promises seem to be, not holding so much water for Nigerians, because there were so much promises before the failed or the allegedly botched February 25th election. The fact that they said they were ready, the logistics were ready and all of that. But we still saw a lot of polling units not even having any INEC presence. Some that had the INEC presence, the INEC officials got there late. So are these promises anything to go by?
To be quite honest with you, personally I have no confidence in INEC of today, going by what transpired in that last election. Is it not even surprising that as we speak, I doubt if INEC currently have all the 176,846 polling unit results in their INEC server? I doubt. And if they do, I doubt if they currently have the total number of accreditation for that election in their server. And you have a situation where you already declared the winner, certificate of return have been issued, and you were supposed to rely on the result from the server to verify the collated results. So for me, I don't have confidence in INEC. What I'm saying is, I'm not taking INEC for their words because they are proving that they cannot be taken for their words. Because I'm not even convinced that the reason they are adduced for not transmitting the election result in that presidential election was genuine. Because what I'm saying is, INEC is the one speaking that they had network glitch. And you cannot be a judge in your own case. We needed an independent body to investigate and unravel what actually transpired, whether it was a genuine network glitch or it was a sabotage from personnel of INEC, because you are the one that claimed it was network glitch, you are the one that is driving the process. So we needed an independent body to actually unravel whether that is what actually transpired.
Now, based on what you just said, you made mention of some certain key points. First, you talked about the Electoral, Act that stipulates that, election results should be uploaded electronically to the IRF, which makes it difficult for INEC to sabotage the effort. You also made mention of the fact that you do not exercise this confidence when it comes to INEC conducting that election, especially when it comes to making it very, free and credible enough. There are some reactions from some quarters that what led to the issue where, when it got to the presidential elections result to be uploaded, was as a result of the fact that results were already uploaded to the IREV earlier before that election, which made it impossible because you couldn't alter what has been uploaded. Could such not play out in this coming election?
That is speculation anyway. If you say results were already uploaded to the IRF,
which they later made an excuse
because
that
personally I
it was a
tried to
network
access the IRF all through. I was not able to access it, so I cannot independently verify the authenticity of your claim. But what I want to say is, even in Lagos State, the way it stands today, for the purpose of this forthcoming governorship and House of Assembly election, anything contrary to uploading the result to INEC server will render in the election conducted in Lagos State null and void because of the subsisting court order in Lagos. So, though that is not applicable to other states, because I can understand that a particular party in Lagos State.
But isn't that in the Electoral Act of?
No, beyond being electoral act.
No, I'm saying that if it was in the Electoral Act, isn't that enough to make it the substantive, practice?
No, the way it is placed in the Electoral Act, it is implied.
Okay.
So it gives INEC the leverage, the liberty to determine how to transmit election results.
But since INEC now came out to say every election result would be uploaded to the INEC.
Now they came up with a guideline. They have a duty to follow that guideline to the letter. But the point I'm trying to make is, you cannot hold them to account. You can hold them to account that you didn't follow your guideline. But constitutionally, they have the liberty even before before the election. People like us, we're already questioning INEC position because Professor Okoye has said it before the election that the collation of results have to be done manually even before the election. So most of us were already questioning why. So where he started talking about that the constitution does not compare INEC to collate the election result electronically.
Okay.
But that notwithstanding, I'll be.
Before you tell us what you have, let's take a break. We have to bring another perspective into this particular issue. Stay with us.